Hi, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. Let's keep playing. Let's go. Oh, the music just kicks in right away. That prosecutor loves the sound of his own voice. Mrs. Sato. Oh my gosh, of all the things that you said. Serialized detective stories are pathetic, are they? How dare he? Maybe let's pick our battles here? My lord, might I be allowed to speak? As judicial assistant, you may speak for the defense. Yes, go ahead. The prosecution may consider the idea of fantasy, but what the defense has postulated was believable enough to persuade the jury to change its leaning. And as such, the court has a duty to explore this alternative explanation as thoroughly as possible. Right. Get shit on. To that end, juror number 4, Mrs. Joan Garrett-Deb, must be called to testify and submit to cross-examination. Saints alive! A cross-examination of a juror? Yeah, I mean, obviously she's involved. Order, order, order! Well, this is highly irregular. It is unprecedented for a member of the jury to be summoned to the witness stand.
Objection!
Oh, there goes the bottle. And unnecessary. Lord Vensix? Oh. There are already witnesses in the stand whose testimony the defense may further cross-examine. If my learned friend's farcical theory has any truth in it, then both a burning book and a jackknife must have flown through the sky before this couple's eyes. And we must assume they would be able to testify accordingly. What say you, witnesses? He's falling asleep. I like their eyes. It's very cute. Yes, sir. Constable Rolly Beat, reporting for duty, sir. This music's so good. Well, good morning, officer. I don't even remember what time it is in here. Sorry for dozing until now, sir. I haven't slept for a month on account of a villain who's appeared on my beat, sir. Oh, they're so heroic, these London bobbies. Patricia, my darling, I've been neglecting you, but no more. Oh, Rolly, my hero, you make me swoon. Very well, I hereby reject the defense's request. Oh, shit. So close. And order the witnesses in the stand to testify again. State forthwith before the court any details pertaining to the defense's alternative explanation of events. Yes, sir. Okay, here we go. I think now we can point out that... Yeah, let's see. Now we can point out that Rolly was the one who went to go report it. This case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Gary Deb. Believe me, a London Bobby is good for his word. Okay. You see, sir, the windows on the top floor of the Gary Deb house are top hinged casements. Lights just turned off. That's a pretty color. How about that? Yeah, let's do that one. Okay. Obviously, if anything had been thrown out the window, we would have seen it. I did leave the scene to go and fetch help, but my trusty Rolly was there to make sure nothing was disturbed. I didn't take my eye off the crime scene for 1 moment, sir. Nothing strange to report on that front, sir. Right. Well, that is quite startling. Top-hinged casement windows? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that looks like. That detail was not in the police report, Constable. Yes, sorry about that. I must have been a little drowsy. You cannot excuse your sins with drowsiness every time, Constable. No, sir. Sorry, but what exactly is a top-hinged casement window? And you You cannot excuse your ignorance with such trite remarks, my learned friend. Of course, sorry. I found it, Mr. Naruhodo. Cast your mind back to the windows in Mr. and Mrs. Garydeb's room. Alright, I'll try. Okay, so the window opens in order to allow air to circulate inside the house. Ah, but as it's a top-hinged casement window, it swings open along the upper edge, you see. Ah, top hinge casement window. That makes sense. I'm glad you've rectified your ignorance. A casement window's most prominent feature is its day, a metal bar which prevents the window from being opened beyond a certain amount. Oh, it prevents it opening. Oh, so there's no way you can throw the knife out or anything out. Absolutely correct, sir. In other words, if a book or knife were to have been thrown through the open window, it would have clattered against the pane and fallen straight down to the pavement below. Ooh. You see the problem then? Good. Your education in windows is complete. There was never any possibility of either the book or the knife traveling 15 yards over the road. That is, unless the window pane had been shattered, something we've discounted already. Wait, wasn't the window broken? That can't be. Did you see that, Rolly? That young Japanese man just collapsed in agony. Oh yes, my darling, I saw it. I saw how he crumbled before me. Oh, Rolly, you're so strong. Just by your words. How is this happening? I haven't even started the cross-examination yet. And already my argument's been destroyed. No, we got this. It's fine. Counsel, if you could drag yourself upright again, the court awaits your cross-examination. Okay. My lord. Oh good, another desperate situation. Okay. Okay, let's just press all of them just to be safe. Hold it! Okay. How can you say that for certain? A very good question, sir. And the answer is this. It has the noble founding principles of the force written on it as a reminder to all us policemen of our sworn duty. He showed us that before, didn't he? Did he? I can't say I remember. To patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man. It's what the job's all about. And that is why I can stand here today beside my long-suffering wife and tell you a Bobby's good for his word. While rubbing my tired eyes, admittedly. Oh, Rolly, you're so manly. Of course I am, my darling Patricia. Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly. Okay. No, none of this is what I meant. I meant, how can you say for certain that this case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garydeb? I see, sir. You should have said so earlier, sir. Yeah, well, so could you answer the question? That was a waste of time then. Absolutely, sir. I will answer it to the fullest of my abilities, sir. There's a surprising reason why Mr. and Mrs. Garydeb's domestic dispute can't be related to this case. But before I get into that, sir, just one thing. Yes? I very much like you and all your countrymen to understand the great British institution of Scotland Yard. So I hope you'll take back some tales of us London bobbies and how we uphold our guiding principles. I wasn't planning on going back just yet. I've only just arrived here. So to that end, sir, I'd be happy to lend you my warrant card for your perusal. But I must warn you, you won't be able to get through it without shedding a few tears. Thanks. I'll try. Constable Bean's warrant card has been entered into the court record. Okay. Let's take a look at it. Real quick. Just real quick. Where is it? Here. A small folding wallet that identifies London bobbies and contains the rules of conduct to which they must adhere. So 1, a policeman will strive to preserve the peace within his allotted beat. 2, a patrolling officer is expected to walk 20 miles around his beat every day for the furtherance of community relations. That's principles of policing. And then there's metropolitan police regulations. So item 1 is any crimes fall under the jurisdiction of the beat in which they are discovered. Number 2, when a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with initial investigations and help detectives. Okay, that doesn't really tell us much, actually. Okay, let's just keep going. Let's press this one. By which you mean they don't open fully, is that correct? Yes, sir. Yeah, I thought that, like, panel was hiding the broken window. They're just there to allow a bit of air through the house, you see? So they're restricted as to how much they open. And therefore, anything thrown out of the window from inside the room— I'm sorry, was I talking to you? would simply strike the pane and fall to the street directly below. For clarity, allow me to mark the map. Okay, it's a little unnecessary, but thanks. Here is the location where objects would have fallen. Right. Yes, directly opposite the scene of the crime, on the other side of the rather wide road. Would it have been so hard for somebody to mention this top-hinge casement thing before? Well, I have another question for you, Constable. And what would that be, sir? How do you even know? How would you even know?
How would they know? How would they know?
How would you have any idea what sort of windows Mr. and Mrs. Gary Deb's house is furnished with? Well, sir, that's very simple. You see, I helped with the investigation yesterday. I'm sorry, is there something you want to say? Do you have something to add, Mrs. Beat? Huh? Sorry? You look, well, delighted. Is there some particular reason for that? Oh, I was just remembering, that's all. We really were so lucky. Lucky? What do you mean? Well, of course I feel terrible for the poor woman who was attacked. Don't misunderstand me, please. But we're just so lucky it didn't happen on Rolly's beat. It was so close, you see. Oh, I hadn't realized. Oh yes, that's Streetbriar Road. That's the boundary between Rolly's beat and the next one. Isn't that right, my love? Interesting. Constable Beat. Hello, wake up. Yes, that's right. That's the reason I was helping out with interviewing the occupants of the Garadeb household yesterday. Their house is on my beat, you see. Wait, okay, there's contradictions there. That really was cutting it close then. Wait, so is it his beat or not? Constable, I wonder if you could clarify something. If the Garadeb household is on your beat, does that mean that the pavement next to it is as well? Outside Mr. Garadeb's house? Yes, ma'am. The pavement on that side of the road is part of my beat. I see. I was unaware of that. Just think, if the woman had been attacked just on the other side of Briar Road, we would never have been able to go for that meal to celebrate our wedding anniversary. But that's the life of a Bobby after all. That's really peculiar though, because he still was the one to report it. Extraordinary people are Bobbies, tirelessly working for the benefit of all Londoners. Do you know what I think? I think it was the good Lord's way of rewarding my Rolly for all his hard work. Don't you think so, my darling? That must be it, Pat, my love. That must be it. I think perhaps we should make sure we have that information officially on record. Leave it to me, Mr. Naruhodo. I'll take care of it immediately. Okay. Interesting. And now it's my turn, I think. Okay. Obviously, if anything had been thrown out the window, we would have seen it. I did leave the scene to go and fetch help, but my trusty Rolly was there to make sure nothing was disturbed. Okay. Let's just press this and see what happens. But according to my notes here, the sun had gone down already and it was dark. Oh, but Rolly and I were strolling along, gazing at the night sky and looking for our lucky star. It's dumb. The star that will guide us to eternal happiness. Okay. Can it guide you to answer the question? Boom, got him. If a flaming book had cut across the sky in front of us, it would have lit up like a shooting star. And if I'd seen a shooting star, I would have made a wish upon it. Let Rolly be an inspector, I would have said 3 times at least. Of course, what with the smog and everything, we couldn't actually see any stars. In short, are you trying to say that neither a book nor a knife crossed the sky before you? Yes, sir, that is correct, sir. As sure as the night sky in London is starless, sir. Huh, it certainly seems like they're telling the truth. And then we saw the poor woman fall to the ground, so we ran straight over to help her. I did leave the scene to go and fetch help, but my trusty Rolly was there to make sure nothing was disturbed.
Hold it!
Yes, you said that you went to a nearby police box to fetch another officer, is that right? That's right, yes. If it had been on Rolly's beat, I would have known exactly where I was going, of course. Don't feel bad, my love. You can't be expected to know the location of every police box on every beat. So Rolly told me the way, only I sort of got a little lost on the way. Patricia, my darling, that's why I love you. Your terrible sense of direction is bewitching to me. Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly. Okay, some weird thing to be attracted to, but okay. So I suppose I was gone for about 15 minutes. But like I said, my Rolly was at the scene the whole time, making sure nothing was disturbed. I was off duty at the time, of course, but a true Bobby is never really off duty, sir. I didn't take my eye off the crime scene for one moment. Nothing strange to report on that front, sir. Okay, last one to press. We'll see what happens. Nothing to report? That's correct, sir. I had my wise-eyed. My eyes wide open the entire time. Never looked away for a second. No one else approached the scene and nothing was removed from it. I can swear to that on the yard's honor, sir. Okay, really? That seems a little strange. Beg your pardon, sir? Strange, sir? Seems altogether regular to me. This burnt copy of The Lion's Pride was originally in the Garadeb household. So the question remains, how did it find its way into the hand of the victim? Can you shed any light on that, seeing as you were at the scene of the crime the entire time? Right. Could it be a different copy, sir? One that just happened to be burnt as well? Yeah, totally. Even if that were possible, why would the victim have been gripping a book like that in her hand? As we can see from this photographic print, she had a bag over her shoulder. Well, sir, the book was in the lady's hand from the moment we arrived at the scene. Is that so? There's something about this statement that's not sitting right with me. The two mysteries of how that knife ended up in her back and how that book ended up in her hand. There must be some common thread between them. Interesting. Can I ask you something? Please, Mr. Lawyer, sir. Oh, yeah, of course. What is it? You're doubting us, aren't you? I can tell. I mean, yeah. What? I wasn't really... I mean, what's she doing? Please, just because I'm a woman, it doesn't make my testimony any less valuable. Wow, okay. You might just see me as the wife of a policeman, but I'm a woman of my word. I am. I really don't remember ever suggesting... ever suggesting that I doubted you. No excuses. I don't want to hear it. My voice will be heard. My lord, you'll let me speak, won't you? Yes, Mrs. Beat, I will allow you to supplement your testimony if you so desire. Sometimes the path of least resistance is the sage one. That was a very loud mutter. What? I heard that. That Japanese man thinks a policeman's wife's word counts for nothing, does he? Well, watch out, sir. I might let you get away with something. I might let you get away with something like that, but Rolly won't. Duly noted. Please, I humbly ask you to continue. What could she possibly about to say, I wonder? What? That's weird. I know what I saw. My eyes never let me down. My sense of direction is a little off. Okay. Oh, wait. We already pressed that one. Okay. We're gonna press this one. I know what I saw. My eyes never let me down. Okay. Mrs. Beat. Nobody is questioning what you've told us. I saw it. I did. That evening, I saw it clearly. That little Eastern man with the whiskers and the funny curved back slinking away from the scene. And I know what I didn't see as well. I didn't see any flaming books or knives flying through the sky. All very clear. She's so annoying. You also mentioned something about having a poor sense of direction? Oh, yes. Well, that's a little embarrassing, really. I'm always ending up at the wrong place when I've made arrangements to meet Rolly. He gets ever so cross. Oh, what do you have to say to that? Constable Beat, is there a problem? Oh. No, sir. No problem, sir. Did your wife's remark just now bring something to mind, perhaps? Oh, well, in a way, sir. Yes, sir. I was just remembering that the same thing happened that evening is all. What are you talking about? You mean Mrs. Beat lost her way on the night of the incident? Well, you see, I sent her off to find a police box in the next beat over from mine, but she was gone a fair bit longer than what I was expecting. I thought she'd be back inside 10 minutes, but my darling was gone a good 15. Oh, Rolly, you're such a tease. But the reason I was so long was because of the bouquet, silly. The bouquet? What bouquet? What bouquet are you talking about? Oh, it was a present for our wedding anniversary. Rolly's so romantic. He saved up for it with farthings and halfpennies he found in the gutter while doing his rounds. Yeah, how romantic. I'd forgotten all about it until just now. Had you, my darling? What? This is so weird. But that was just between us. No talking about it to anyone else, darling. You have to promise. Really? Oh. What was that all about? Constable Beat looked very obviously troubled during that exchange. I'm afraid I can't offer any useful insight, Mr. Naruhodo, but I'm quite sure of one thing. We have to ask Mrs. Beat about the bouquet. Weird. That was such a weird piece of dialogue. Mrs. Beat, this bouquet you just mentioned, I'd like you to add details about it to your testimony, please. Oh, really? Yes, I'd love to. Oh, he's pissed. What happened was I dropped my bouquet and ended up losing my way for a while. Oh, are we gonna... Let's press this one then. She dropped her bouquet. Okay. You mean you dropped the bouquet at the scene of the crime? Yes, that's right. Oh, I was so upset. When we ran over and saw it was a woman with a knife in her back, I was so shocked I dropped the bouquet Rolly gave me. It was in a dark spot where the streetlights weren't casting any light, so I didn't notice at first. And then you went to the police box to report it to the policeman whose beat it was on? Yes, and I came back to the scene together with the other constable you see. That's when I spotted my bouquet again, but the funny thing was, when I went to pick it up, it was nowhere near the victim's body at all. In case you need reminding, Mrs. Beat, the victim is not deceased. Oh, I totally forgot about that too, actually. I was all flustered for a moment before I heard a voice calling me from the other side of the road. Your husband, presumably? That's right, silly me, I'd gone over to the wrong side of the street. What? Although I'm going to blame the bouquet this time. I can't think how it got there, I really can't. So the bouquet somehow moved from one side of Briar Road to the opposite? Curious indeed. Isn't it? But the worst of it is, I forgot to pick the bouquet up again when we left the scene. That beautiful rose Rolly bought me, with that change from the gutter he spent so long collecting. Wait, what? By bouquet, do you perhaps mean this sorry, solitary rose? Oh yes, that's it! That's the bouquet Rolly bought me for our anniversary, with old bits of change he found in the gutter. Maybe just call it a rose? Tell us, Lord Van Zix, where did you come by the flower? According to the report by the police officer in charge of the crime scene investigation, it was found on the edge of the pavement in front of the Geradeb household. What? I'm so confused. What? In front of the Geradeb's house? Although it wasn't noticed until the morning as it lay where the street lamps cast no light. It was believed to be of no relevance to the case, since it was found on the opposite side of the thoroughfare. Oh, thank you, sir, thank you! Could I have it back now, please? Huh. No, I think for good measure, this rose should be added to the court record as evidence. Oh. The anniversary bouquet has been entered into the court record. But it's a symbol of our love. It came from the gutter. It came from change. It was bought with change that came from the gutter. Good grief, rest assured that I shall do my very best not to forget, Mrs. Beat. Okay, let's take a look at the bouquet, or the rose. Let's see if it has anything. Okay, so let's do that. An English rose. It's such a beautiful flower. This is a rose, is it? I've never seen one before. Do you not take an interest in flowers, Mr. Naruhodo? I wouldn't say that exactly, but I do know 3 types at least. 3 types of roses. Yes, plum blossom, peach blossom, and cherry blossom. Perhaps you should consider branching out, learning some that aren't fruit tree based, for example. Okay. Is there something about this? It's very stylish paper the flower is wrapped in, isn't it? It's also a huge. It's just an old newspaper, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, I suppose it's because I'm not used to seeing English print. It looks so exotic to me. Ah, I see. Is something wrong? Oh, no. I was just thinking that if you wrapped a stone-baked sweet potato in English newspaper, it might look like some sort of fancy cake. What? How is that relevant? Okay. This is so weird. This dialogue is so weird right now. I don't even know. Okay. I guess that's it, because it's going back to the same dialogue. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, what do you make of all this? Huh, yeah. The whole idea of an invisible attacker has been troubling me all along. But I believe I'm starting to get a picture of what really happened here now. Are you? Because I am totally not. I'm so lost. The 4th book that had no business being at the scene of the crime made me sure that Mrs. Geradeb was hiding something from us, but it's becoming increasingly clear that someone else has been hiding something from us as well. I think I may already be armed with everything I need to strike a decisive blow here. Really? This time, it's going to expose the whole truth about this mysterious affair. Okay. I have no idea. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna try to present the bouquet.
Objection.
Hopefully this is it. You claim, Constable Beat, there was nothing to report in the 15 or so minutes you were guarding the scene. But that cannot be. What? What do you mean to say? In your testimony just now, Mrs. Beat, you explained to the court that when you arrived back at the scene of the crime with the policeman assigned to that beat, oh yeah, she was on the wrong side of the road. The bouquet you had dropped at the victim's side was no longer anywhere nearby.
Objection.
Yes, on the opposite side of Briar Road to where the victim was attacked. Huh. But considering the size of that meager bouquet, if a single sorry bloom can be so described, no doubt it was blown in the wind across the street back into the gutter where it belongs. Oh my god. Meager. But if that were the case, why did Constable Beat not testify to the fact? Okay, we'll find out in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye, guys.